Hi everybody, welcome to another YDFLive show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you grow your audience, share your message and transform your business. So what we're going to talk about today, I wasn't going to mention this, but obviously everybody in America is voting today. And so I want to take a wee bit, not stress out of it, we'll talk about something totally different because I would imagine everybody is talking about the elections today. I know it opened up at 7 o'clock this morning, which was about an hour ago or something. So we're going to talk about 7 reasons why you should tell stories to brand yourself online. So hopefully you're going to get a lot out of this. Okay, why do we use stories for branding ourselves and for marketing and for helping generate sales and for helping to grow your business? Stories are kind of ingrained in our minds. From very early age, we've read stories, or our parents have read stories to us, or our caregivers have read stories to us from a very early age. And at school, we would read stories every week or every day or something as well. It's like something that's ingrained into our minds. So when we hear a story, we automatically, psychologically, we sit up and listen to stories. So I wanted to give you 7 reasons you should be telling stories and learning the art of telling stories as well. Part of learning the art of telling stories is just being yourself and telling your own stories from your past, from about your family, a time you've struggled and you came through it. These are all very, very powerful for marketing and something that all the top marketers use, but we might not even realise they use them. They just tell stories from the past naturally. It seems dead natural. But if you learn the art of storytelling, it can be really good for your business, for your Facebook Live shows, for your videos, for your sales pages, everything it can be really good for. So this is kind of higher level kind of stuff that we're talking about here. It's not just the logistics and the day-to-day stuff and how-to stuff. This is the higher kind of level stuff we're going into just now. So when you tell a story to somebody, what you're actually doing is you're implanting an experience into their mind. So you're telling them a story, and if you can do it well, you're vividly getting them to imagine them in the story as well. So when I tell a story about my past or my business, or if I'm doing something about personal development, it's really, really powerful. And I'll give you an example. When somebody signs up to my Positive Life Affirmations program, if they want a free download, they sign up, and the first email they get is obviously, here's your download link. The second email they get is something called My Story. That's the headline of the email. It just says my story ... And then I go into how when I was younger, I didn't believe in myself because I was kind of partially deaf and nobody kind of understood it at the time, and I couldn't hear the teachers. So the teachers thought I was a bit, they thought I had to go to a special school, etc. And when my mum picked up that I was actually going deaf, that's when things really started to change. And I changed my beliefs from then on, and I told people that story in the email. Really powerful story of change. So that kind of story, other people pick up on, and they begin to imagine and experience what you've experienced as well. So you're implanting a story within their minds, and you're opening up their imagination inside their minds as well. So they're picturing what you're picturing as well, or what actually happened to you, if you tell it in a good way as well. Telling a story in a good way is really just telling a story like you're talking to a friend, and you tell a story. You don't go too fast, you don't go too quick, and you don't leave out all the kind of details, but you don't have so much that they just get bored. It's just the right amount, and you'll get that, and you'll start seeing other people telling really good stories as well. Another reason to use stories from a brand point of view is telling stories reveals what makes your message unique. There's only one of you in the whole wide world. There's only ever going to be one. There only has ever been one. In the future, there's only going to be one of you. So when you start telling stories about either your brand, about your product, about yourself even, it really makes you stand out and be unique. A lot of people have had your experiences, but you have only had that one experience of your own life. And when you tell that in a certain way, that comes across, your energy comes across on camera. Now, what I'm going to do just now, I'm just going to make sure we're still live just now, just to make sure. Still getting all these error messages. Brilliant, okay. So I think we're okay just now. I'm going to keep on going, as I said. A third reason to tell stories for branding yourself, or branding your product, or whatever. Just tell stories all the time, and you'll get to start thinking in stories once you get into the habit of doing this. For example, when I go out taking the dog for a walk, that's a story in and of itself, but it's what I was thinking when I was taking the dog for a walk as well, and I can put that into an email, which I've done loads of times. And I was going to start kind of an email kind of campaign whereby stories from my dog walking, stuff like that, but I didn't actually do it. But I used to kind of send out an email and just say, listen, I've just been taking the dog for a walk, and here's what I was thinking about. And it's good because they imagine you taking a dog for a walk. If it's freezing cold or something, they imagine that as well. They get involved in the experience, like I was saying in the first one. But stories are really what connects you to the reader as well. So it's like the emotional glue that connects you to the reader, the listener, the viewer, or whatever medium you're doing your kind of broadcasting. I'm not just talking about Facebook Live. It could be on video, it could be on a podcast, it could be in your blog post as well. So your stories are going to connect you to the reader, the listener, or the viewer. As I said, that's the emotional glue that connects your energies together. So when somebody connects with you emotionally, they're more likely to start following you more. And in the future, they're more likely to buy from you if they know, like, and trust you. You've got to have that KLT. You've got to have the know, like, and trust factor. And so that's what we call the KLT factor. And I've just come up with that just now. I don't know if I've heard it, but I've just came up with that just now. And I'll need to incorporate that some way because I think that's quite good, the KLT factor. Don't steal that, anybody. So that's the emotional glue that connects you and the reader, viewer, listener together. So stories are really good for that as well. Also stories, number 4, stories shape information into meaning. So when you're telling a story, it actually means something to the reader because it means something to you, and you're conveying that. You're conveying the passion for it. You're conveying how emotionally you are involved in it. It conveys that, shapes the information into meaning for the viewer, the listener, or the reader as well. So if you think about it from that point of view, that can be extremely powerful. When you're saying, but if somebody asks you, for example, why did you create that product? So again, I've got another email going out in my kind of sequence of emails for the positive life affirmations, and I've just simply got why I make positive affirmations, or why I created the positive affirmations. So it's telling a story of why I created the positive affirmations, and it's all about, I'm really here to change, or to help change people's beliefs about themselves so they can go out into the world and help other people as well. So it's all about spreading love message, or it's that love message, and kind of spreading more joy into the world as well, but helping people on a practical level as well. And that's why I created positive affirmation. That's why I created yourdigitalformula.com, because I realized early on, about 2.5 years ago, with Your Digital Formula, which didn't exist at the time. I was just growing my Facebook page. I was determined to master Facebook. I said, okay, I'm going to dedicate my time to mastering Facebook and growing my page. And I wanted to do that for myself initially. And then when people started to ask me, I got all these hundreds of messages saying, how are you growing your Facebook page? What's your secret? What's the tips and techniques? And so I kind of wrote back to everybody and said, it's not tips and techniques, it's a strategy you have to use. It's a strategy. And then I thought, there's a program here. There's a program that's really, really going to help people. Because if my page, and I've grown it to about 500,000 followers at the time, if my page touches 500,000 followers, if I teach 100, 200, 1,000 people how to grow their followers to 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, eventually, think how many people in the world that is touching. So I realized early on that kind of my business program, which seems like a business program, a pure business program, but it's not really. It's helping people to grow. So they're helping people to grow their page so they can help millions of other people around the world. And that is a huge thing. For me to be able to do that, or to facilitate that, and bring messages of kind of hope, of joy, of kind of sadness, and helping people in sadness, helping people kind of get out of the depression as well. If I can do that, if I've got the power to do that, and I give that power to other people, and they then give that power to other people, and that spreads, and that's a ripple throughout the universe, literally a ripple throughout the universe. And that's why I do your digital formula, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, and so passionate about the members in the YDF tribe as well. Really passionate about the members in the YDF tribe, and I've met a lot of them in London. We're going to meet in Scotland next year as well, and I just love it. I just love what I do. So stories shape information into meaning as well. Also, so number 5 is stories can motivate an audience towards your goal. So if you're telling a powerful story about, say for example, how, for me, my page only had 33,000 likes back 2.5 years ago. Now it's got over 3 million likes, and I tell the story of that. What are you really going to think? If you're in the audience and you're listening and you paid for me to see that, if you're in a kind of live audience, or you're watching a video, or you're reading it in a blog, you're thinking, well, if he can do it, I can do it as well. And I believe anybody can do this, by the way. Anybody at all. I'm no smarter than you. I've not got any more intelligence than you. Anybody can do what I'm doing just now. It's just that I've dedicated my time to be able to do this. And now the benefits are really starting to show for it as well. So honestly, I do believe that anybody can actually do this. And so you can motivate other people towards, say for example, buying your program. And you have to do it ethically as well. If it's a shit program, don't sell it. Just don't sell a shit program. Make sure it's the best program ever. Like just now, myself and Maria Flynn from YDFLive, we're kind of updating the Your Digital Formula as we speak just now. We're constantly updating it. We've got loads of kind of new lessons in there. We've changed it to a new platform. We've added cheat sheets. We've added kind of loads of PDF downloads as well, just to help the reader even more, or help the kind of members of the YDF tribe even more. So if you're telling that to an audience and the story about it and how you came from nothing to where you are just now, that helps motivate your audience towards your goal as well, because you know you're going to be able to help people. The 6th reason to tell stories is because they are likely to be shared more. What I've noticed in video in particular, I'm just going to check Facebook again. I'm getting all these error messages up. Excellent. I think we're still getting comments okay, so I'm just going to leave it there just now. If you tell a story on a video, videos are big on Facebook just now, but I've noticed if I just put image quotes in a video, it's quite cool, it gets shared a lot, and it's quite good, especially if you've got a themed kind of image quote. So if I've got 10 image quotes on the same theme, so say it's about empowerment, which I kind of done a video yesterday on that. It's all about empowering yourself. If it's on the same theme, it's going to get shared a lot. But stories that touch people's hearts will get shared even more. So stories that touch people's hearts will get shared even more. So if you can create an emotion in somebody with your stories, in video, on a Facebook Live, in your writing, it doesn't matter what medium, if you can get somebody into kind of experience an emotional state, then it's more than likely that they're going to share that. And if you can experience that as well, what you're really doing is you're predicating them to share the story, because you can ask at the very end, thank you for kind of watching this video, please share it with your friends and family. And if they've had an emotional connection, or they've had kind of feelings about that story, then they're more likely to share it. That's why stories go viral in video format. And that's what I'm teaching just now, how to do that as well in the YDF program as well, how to make viral videos. And stories are the big thing on that. If you're creating a story and it can be 2 to 4 minutes long, or 1 to 4 minutes long, ideal, it's perfect. And number 7, the last reason, is stories are less likely to be resisted. And by that I mean people are not going to create barriers in their mind when you're telling a story. Obviously, if it's a true story, there's no barriers come up. So if you say, for example, you're trying to sell something and you're using a story to illustrate, what happens when you're trying to sell something straight off and you're just it's a straight off sales pitch, there's barriers go up in people's minds along that kind of sales journey or the sales kind of process and the journey. So the first barrier might be price, second barrier might be time, third barrier. So there's all these barriers come up. But if you're telling a story, the people are engaged with the story, they're emotionally connected to you as well, and these barriers don't come up as much. So if I'm telling the story of how I started from 33,000 to 3.1 million followers on Facebook in the space of 2.5 years, the barriers won't actually come up. They'll just see my journey from 33,000 to 3.1 million in 2.5 years. They'll listen to that story, and then I can present them with an offer if they want to take it. So it's not forcing anybody. It's nothing to do with that. It's just saying, you can do what I do, and this is the program. These are the benefits of the program. Do you want in? Yes or no. It's simple. Yes or no. And that is the benefit of stories. So I hope that helps. I'm going to go over to Facebook just now just to see if you've got any questions. Right, my mouse is not working now. 1 second, I'll get rid of the fluff. Right, I'll just see if we've got any questions just now. I think Maria's been putting them in the background. So comment from Fiona Cheney. Stories can be used to highlight and focus people if it resonates with their experiences. Short, to the point and true. Very true. Short, to the point, true is good as well. So if you're telling a story and you're including all the kind of details, every single detail, and it's very convoluted, people get bored. They do get bored. That's why kind of videos are really good. The 1 to 4 minute stories are really, really good for you as well. So good point, Fiona. Comment from Cindy Timmers. I'm telling my story on my Facebook page. People recognise it a lot. It's so powerful, not only for them, but certainly for me. It's like they support me. And that's a beautiful thing about it as well, Cindy. So when you're telling your story, and what I was saying there, you're creating an emotional connection from your readers to you and from you to the readers as well. And it opens up something inside you as well, because you realise how powerful that is and how much it's touched somebody. You kind of open up a wee bit more with your readers, because a lot of people are very reserved, but if they tell a story about themselves, they realise how powerful that connection can be. So it's really good from that point of view. So I'm glad you're doing that, Cindy. A question from Lorraine Emmett. Slightly off topic, but have you ever thought of writing fiction? Listening to the way you talk about stories made me wonder. I've loved writing stories from a really young age, and I know I will eventually end up writing books. Lorraine, that is really weird you say that, because the plan for me and my business, in 10 years' time, I'm going to give up what I'm doing just now, totally give it up, and I'm writing books. And it's going to be fictional books, and I started writing books a year and a half ago to 2 years, but this is when this business took off, so I stopped it. And so I've got a brilliant premise for books and stuff like that, but in 10 years' time, I'm going to give up all of this and start writing books. But I'm not going to give up like the Facebook Live and everything, but the business I've got just now will not be here. There'll be a different business altogether in 10 years' time. So that is a plan. So when I'm 50, I think it's when I said I was 57, I'm going to start writing the books, because I've done that from a young age as well. I've written kind of short stories and kind of written books. I tried to write a book, only got 80,000 words or something, and I scrapped it. I thought, shite. So I just scrapped it after spending a year and a half writing it. So yeah, that's my plan. So yeah, I'm going to write books as well, just like you. Lorraine Cavici Blut, a question. Thank you for sharing your story. You're so encouraging. Thank you, Lorraine. You're so beautiful and you're uplifting. Wonder Stephen. I just started an Instagram for my frame shop. Do you think I can get a good following on my Instagram? The Frame Shop Cape Cod. I'm still working on my ideas for a Facebook page for my frame shop. I think my frame shop can help people frame their memories and create beauty for their artwork, or frame the important pieces that bring joy to people. Also, I sell local artwork in my shop. Should I share my story why I bought the frame shop? Definitely. Yes, you should. And for Instagram, obviously you can share kind of images of the beautiful kind of paintings you've got, or the beautiful frames as well, but it's what's inside those frames, so i.e. the pictures. So imagine this, Lorraine, you tell the story of the artwork. So say you've got a beautiful piece of art and you've got a beautiful frame as well, it's all framed beautifully. Tell the story of the artwork. Tell the story of why the painter created that. You could have interviews with the actual painter or the artist sorry, not the painter, the artist, and why did they create that painting? Why did they use oils? Why did you use watercolors? Why did you use the medium or the canvas, a different type of canvas, or the colors and stuff like that as well? There's so many more beautiful stories in paintings that we don't realize. If we tell the story of the paintings, and you can tell your story of the frame shop, you can tell your story of the actual frames itself. So stories can play a big part in that. And with Instagram as well, you can definitely grow your Instagram page. But you can do 1-minute videos as well. And you can do Instagram stories now, which is a continuation of the 1-minute videos that you can do as well. So there's loads of stuff going on at Instagram, and Instagram are going to be coming out with a live kind of version. There's kind of rumors that they're going to be doing an Instagram live. So Twitter, by the way, they're looking at live shows as well. So there's going to be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for live shows, which is brilliant. If you've not seen myself and Maria's product as well, check that out as well. We've got a special offer on just now for the brilliant Facebook Live system. So check that out. The link's above there just now. If you're thinking about doing lives, that's going to be a brilliant program for you. So yeah, Instagram, definitely good for you. And I would grow, and that's the platforms I would focus on. I was saying YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Or Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram in that order. That's what I would do. Because videos are going to be huge and live is going to be even bigger. Because you are a media company. You've got to think of yourself as a media company. I know I've said that before, but essentially you are a media company. If you've got a business, you own a business, you're trying to promote a business, you are a media company. And the more people get to know, like, and trust you, the better that is. And you can do that through stories as well. So I hope that helps. I'll just see if we've got any more questions just now. Dione Bidwa. Good morning, Stephen. I started sharing my health journey on my fitness page, and I've had people approach me being so grateful that I shared my story because they can relate to it and found it encouraging as a way to get healthier. And that's a perfect example, Dione. A perfect example of how stories can help and how your journey as well. And your journey essentially is a story. And that's what we're talking about here. And because you've got that emotional connection as well, because people relate to where you were once and where they want to be now. So you are where they want to be now, but they might be where you were once. So you're taking them on a journey from there where they are just now to where they want to be, and they see you as a catalyst for doing that. And that's why they get to know, like, and trust you, and that's why it creates that kind of deep connection that you have as well. I mean, I would imagine a lot of readers will come to you about that. I think we've got another question here. A comment from, yeah, that was the one I just shared. So thank you very much for that, DNA. I really appreciate you joining in. Okay, I'm just going to see if we've got any more questions at the moment. I don't know how long we've been on, about 30 minutes. Yeah, it's about 30 minutes just now. That's cool. Okay, do we have any more quick questions before I go? I think we need to call it a day there just now. I think this has been a really good topic, actually, and something hopefully for you to think about when you're kind of doing a Facebook Live show, when you're writing a blog post, when you're doing a video, when you're doing anything, or even on Twitter, you can tell kind of mini short stories in 140 characters, believe it or not. That was a big thing a couple of years ago, where you're telling a kind of a micro story. That was called a micro story in 140 characters. I thought it was a brilliant thing. Thank you for the encouragement doing live, Stephen. Excellent. Excellent, Dana. I'm glad you're still doing them. I've seen a couple of your videos where you're interviewing kind of other business owners in fashion or something like that as well. So I've seen that as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Remember to check out the link above and see what you think, because Facebook Live is going to be huge. They're doing even more stuff to Facebook Live, so you need to get in and be a front runner just now. And myself and Maria Flynn from YDFLive, we've been doing our shows for about 6 months every day, every weekday for about 6 months now. And between us, we've got a lot of experience. So check out that link. You get a special offer. It's a pre-launch offer, so check out that. Lorraine Emmett saying fabulous topic, brilliant. Tony, is it Sacker? Tony Saker. I always feel that I am an example, and that one can get out of their abusive marriage. That one can get out of their abusive marriage. Sorry, I read that in kind of the wrong way. Exactly, Tony. If you can tell that story and connect with people as well, and I know you've You've got into the brilliant Facebook Live system as well. I seen that yesterday. Can't wait to show you that next week. You can tell your story of that as well, because a lot of people are experiencing what you're experiencing as well. And even if you don't think a lot of people are experiencing what you're going through, you'll probably find that there are a lot of people, and you'll start to find your tribe. And that's what it's about. It's about finding your tribe, finding your dedicated group of followers. And it's a beautiful thing when that happens. So thank you very much for watching today, for listening, wherever you are in the world. Have a brilliant day. If you're not voted yet, go and vote in the polls if you're in America. I'm going to be watching this a lot throughout the day just to see what's happening. Can't wait. So have a brilliant day. Namaste. Take care. Bye now.